Hello everyone, and welcome to After Alexander, Episode 62, Putting Out Fires. Last time, we mentioned that the empire Seleucus did hold left something to be desired. As a matter of fact, our heartlands of Babylon and Antioch are going to prove an issue. I know, yet another problem for Seleucus to have to deal with. He's not exactly got it easy. The Babylonian diarist notes that there have been skirmishing between palace soldiers and the general military. According to Grainger, this brought Seleucus back from his eastern endeavours in 237 BCE. We don't know why this took place, but we know that it reoccurred in 234. The reason for this may lie with what had happened in Syria the previous year in 235 BCE. To explain why, we need to introduce, or possibly reintroduce, a princess called Stratonike. I know, another one. This one is a sister of Antiochus II who had married Demetrius II of Macedon. This is the same Demetrius who we briefly introduced in episode 56. However, she married him before he became king. The two had one daughter together called Apama III, who would become the wife of Prusias I of Bithynia and the mother of Prusias II. As a matter of fact, the final king of Bithynia, called Nicomedes IV, would be the great-great-grandson of Prusias and Apama. Anyway, Stratonike abandoned Demetrius when he married his second wife. All of this came before he was enthroned in 239 BCE. Stratonike then came back to Syria, now ruled by her nephew Seleucus II, and she settled in Antioch. Up until this point, this all sounds very tame. However, the inciting incident possibly came in about 235 BCE. She suggested marriage to Seleucus. And yes, that's her nephew. Then again, we established in previous episodes that Laodike II was his aunt on his mother's side. I suppose he has got form in terms of marrying aunts, and which side of the family they are might be neither here nor there at this point. However, Seleucus turned her down. Stratonike felt spurned and went into revolt. She may have been coordinating with Hyrax, but apparently we don't know. Grainger speculates there was more to this uprising than meets the eye, as on its own this seems a bit of a limp reason to rebel. Taxes may have been relevant as a contributing factor. The same might also go for the Seleucids ceding Seleucia Imperia to the Ptolemies. Commerce may have been interrupted, or there may have been Seleukid refugees entering Antioch as a result. Antioch was now the capital instead of Seleucia, and had more people within it, putting strain on the city. Regardless of the actual reason, Antioch went into revolt. The king had to lay siege to his capital to get it back from his aunt Stratonike. She subsequently ran away in the direction of the now Ptolemaic Seleucia. It is noteworthy that she specifically ran in the direction of an Egyptian possession, but we can't say whether Egypt was involved. Given that we've previously built Ptolemy up as a bellicose warrior, it wouldn't surprise me too much if he was at least lending Stratonike a hand. After all, we've seen him erode Seleukid control in Thrace and take over Lysimachia. Then again, who knows? He was probably delighted by the Seleucids fighting amongst themselves constantly, but that's not to say he was necessarily involved. Not that it matters, as Seleucus intercepted Stratonike before she could set foot on Egyptian soil, and she was subsequently killed. It is possible that this fighting within the dynasty set off the unrest and the skirmishing in Babylon we mentioned at the start of this episode. This whole scenario sounds a little ridiculous when uttered out loud. The king had to besiege his own capital and kill a member of the royal family to get the region to calm down. We know that there were soldiers in Babylon, for one reason or another, in 230 BCE. In 229, although the text is apparently murky, we know there was conflict with the king's palace involved somehow. At the time, Seleucus II, together with his sons, was on the left bank of the Euphrates. Likely as not, the presence of the king in the city put an end to the issue. Seleucus' second son Antiochus would remain in Babylon, which might have solved the problem. The presence of a member of the Seleukid family meant there was a court of sorts, and there was also tighter supervision of the palace soldiers. Problematic individuals may also have been sent away, given that they would have posed a danger to the prince. The rest may be guesswork, but we know that Antiochus was definitely resident in Babylon between 225 and 223 BCE. All that said, not that Seleucus' eye would stay on Babylon for very long. Next time, we'll see his eye pointing west and, more pressingly, northwest towards Anatolia. Until then, thank you all for listening. Feel free to get in touch at the show's email address for any questions, comments, or topic suggestions for future Tangent episodes. Until next time, have a great week, everyone.